So let's talk cord cuttings for a moment. Many of you are probably familiar with it, but a lot of you may have had unsuccessful cord cuttings, and this is a piece of paracord. I am going to show you a very easy chaos magic technique in doing effective cord cuttings, especially in regards to when you're going to be practicing any form of transmutation magic or any form of vampirism, and why, especially too, in any kind of baneful magic, any kind of hex work, or any kind of left hand path work. Why it's important to cord cut effectively. As a chaos magic witch, practicing a little over 23 years now, I keep my rituals very simple, to the point. I used to be a ritualistic witch. Guess what? That didn't work very well for me. Chaos magic works so much better for me and a lot of people I know. But let's get back into the topic of cord cutting. So most people do elaborate cord cuttings, and I think that they are beautiful. I see so many of them on TikTok and all over the web. However, the issue with doing one cord cutting is that it is not enough to completely cut the ties that you need from that person or individuals specifically targeting you, or that you had a very strong bond or emotional tie to. And most people will feel better right away after doing, the ones that I've seen with all of the herbs, the dressed candles. And sometimes, yes, it can absolutely work on the first attempt, but a good way to tell too is most people, actually everyone you meet, forms cords to you. People you have a casual conversation with at the grocery store, you are energetically forming cords with people that you are meeting every day in your life that you may not be aware of. And as most of you know, you have 7 chakra systems. Well, you have more than 7, but we'll go with the 7 right now. And where you feel the anger or the grief or the envy when you think of a certain person that maybe just really irks your soul or has done you wrong, is usually the chakra system that they have attached the most cords to you, and vice versa. Example being, maybe you have an enemy or someone you really dislike, or an ex that you really dislike. Do you feel it in your gut, in your solar plexus, that you have that brewing hatred still, or that anger? Do you feel emotional? Do you feel it in your heart where it's heavy and you feel like there's a weight against your chest every time you think of this person? And it could be years since you've last spoken to them, but they still have that weight. Or do you feel it in your throat that you can barely talk about this person, or that your words get all jumbled, or don't come out with what you're intending to say, and it's lodged in your throat chakra? So the point is that these people, the one that have the strongest emotional reactions from you, are the ones that have the most cords still attached to you. So when you do a elaborate cord cutting, or maybe just a simple ritual one, it's not enough to completely detach from that person energetically. How this goes wrong in your spell work, specifically if you were practicing any kind of baneful magic, or hex work, especially if you were wronged by this individual, if they had abuse done to you, is that it is going to intersect with your cords again, tie back into you, where not necessarily are you going to get some kind of karmic reaction, but you're still attached so much to this individual that your spell work is just almost going to kind of go into this kind of loophole where it's going to be not only hitting your target, but hitting you back. And if they are another practitioner, they know how to take your energy then and manipulate it and use it against you, because they have that hold and that tie to you still. And that's where it becomes dangerous. Got cold chills right after I said that. And so one cord cutting typically isn't enough, especially if you have, again, an emotional tie and you know that you're still feeling it. The purpose of a cord cutting after it's done and it's released is that you're able to feel stoic. It doesn't mean that you've forgotten what that individual or those people have done to you. It just means you can think about it with a clear level-headedness, that when you are going to be doing spell work, you are not being clouded by your emotions, and you can no longer feel it attached to your chakra systems or where it once used to affect you. And here's the next thing. You don't need the elaborate candle work and the herbs. If you want to do that, and if it makes you feel better going about it in that ritual approach, absolutely. I use a black birthday candle, point blank, because birthday candles are quick. You don't even have to use a candle. And I use a piece of paracord or string to symbolize the attachment. And then, give me one moment. I take a pair of scissors. I hope that I can show this. or I actually just use my fingers to energetically cut the ties from that person or the group of individuals so that it's no longer affecting me. And this has to be done for 21 days specifically. Some people will feel better after doing this after 3 days to a week, and that's fine. If you feel that it's no longer affecting you emotionally in certain areas where your body's not clenching up, tensing up, where you can't speak, or where you're feeling emotional, then there's no need to do it for 21 days. But I find when people have the most emotions that you're tied to and latched onto strongly, specifically if it's an enemy or somebody that really has done you wrong, that 21 days is going to be the most effective. The candle isn't even for my cord. Some people prefer to have their candles burning their quartz. That's fine. Again, this is something that I'm trying to do for 21 days, and as a busy person, I don't have time for the whole elaborate ritual work, and I find this method to be more effective personally for me. But again, feel free to modify it. I use the candle to more as the focal point, to call my energy back, to call my power back, and to break the ties. Where I light it, and a birthday candle is enough time to meditate on that vision and get focused. What you will be doing is cleansing your space with either incense, sage, Palo Santo, whatever you want to use. If you don't want to use any of that, just take a shower right before doing a cord cutting every day for the 21 days and scrubbing yourself with coarse salt or some kind of salt from the neck on downward. Make sure you're also washing your hair a few of those days at a time as well too, to energetically release everything before going into doing your cord cutting. You're going to be lighting your birthday candle, okay? And that's going to be the whole entire time and length of that cord cutting ritual that you are going to do if you choose to use the birthday candle. And you're going to sit in meditation. You are going to think of the individual, and I keep getting goosebumps with this, or the individuals. Where are you feeling in the 7 chakra systems that they have the cords most attached to you? And it can be more than one chakra system. Some people have it by your solar plexus. Some people have it like right in the gut, in your heart center. So think of that chakra system and that person or that group of people, whatever you want to do. And you don't need more than cords for this. You can just use one to symbolize all of them. Okay, this is chaos magic. It does not have to be elaborate. And you are going to envision all of those cords and that energy tie that's been holding you together and binding you together. And if you were a witch on a budget and you don't got funds for scissors or a string, and I totally understand, life happens sometimes. All you got to do in this technique, even without the birthday candle, is just doing that meditation after cleansing yourself and your space and envisioning those cords and energetically snipping that. And some people are like, how is that effective? Because everything comes from the mind. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever have. It is the ability to shift and change energy and manipulate it into any way you want. It's actually the only tool you will ever need. Herbs and other tools that we have, candles, incense, etc., are great at helping us focus, but really everything comes from up here at the end of the day. But for 21 days, if you can, light your birthday candle for your focal point. Get into your meditation space. Take your cord. Speak out loud to the universe. This cord symbolizes my attachment to so-and-so or these group of people. It symbolizes the hold that they once held on me, the hold that I once used to hold on them, and now I release it and I call my energy back. I call my power back to me. I am no longer tied to them in this life, in the next life, in my previous lives. And I claim back and I call all my power back that was ever given to them in any place and time that has existed now and the in-between in any quantum planes. After you spoke it out loud, you called your power back, repeat it as many times as you need it until you feel it, until you truly feel the cord severing. And to help with the process, you take your scissors and snap. After you have cut the cord, sit silently with yourself. Inhale and exhale. Take some deep breaths in and out. Feel yourself getting your energy back and the cords loosening and severing and making their way out of your chakra systems and out of your body. And you will do this for 21 days and watch how much more potent your magic becomes when you use it in transmutation, when you use it in vampirism, and when you use it for any kind of baneful work or in getting your power back. I promise you, it works.